say Tariq and I hypothetically have this company called Original Man Scientific, right? And we have a contract for, hypothetically speaking, a silicon and polymer chemist to come and do research that is viable for
Come on.
society. And we pay said PhD, I don't know, six plus figures to
Man,
do
bro, take
that. I
the
think
questions
that
right out
said
of my head.
PhD is still doing for self,
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Now, if
Absolutely.
that sounds good to you, we can talk on the back end. But what I mean in all seriousness is working for someone who looks like you and have your best interest in heart is just as much doing for self as having the business, right? At a certain point, everybody can't be the CEO or the business owner. Somebody got to do sanitation. Somebody has to make copies. Somebody has to do the work you say your business is about. Somebody has to be an accountant, HR. So at a certain point, we have to grow beyond I have to be at the head or the entrepreneur versus you just have to have a skill and have your skill be of value to somebody who can pay you.
Come on.
So it's so, like, we use the term multifaceted at a certain point.
Yes.
Health, you talked about finances, like all these things, your social, your psychological, your
Right.
financial situation, all that impacts this, huge word called health and what it
Right.
means for you as an individual, right?
Right.
Trauma is a big thing. What you've experienced, that
Mhm.
imprints on you. So maybe just eating isn't going to get it. Why am I so
Yeah.
tired? Well, have you released some of this unresolved stuff you have from your past? There's so much stuff.
Yeah.
So building the immune system has to be physical, mental,
Come on.
spiritual at the
Come on.
least. And
Yeah.
then
That's right.
and then at that point, you'll start to even realize that even just certain things you're eating are having a greater impact because you freed yourself in other ways too.
We're in the people business as members of the Nation of Islam, right?
Right, right.
Everything, whether you're talking about charity, building business, getting out to the people, our greatest investment or the greatest product of the Nation of Islam is not a bean pie, it's not a final call, it's not, you know, any of these things. It's the believer. So that is what attracts and repels someone else. So
Come
when
on.
we talk about dealing and trying to get someone to understand where we're coming from, we have to have the proper bait for that fish to come in and then have some level of interest. And then we introduce you from that point on to the rest of what we have that is better. So brother is talking about a system in place to render a certain response or certain output. So again, for all those scientists that feel like we're not talking about science, we're not talking about systems, we're talking about all those things in the science of business.
Right.